I know we in camp, we training and whatnot, right? And I've been like, how would I say, pushing the button, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we've been gone for so long and whatnot, you know? And
Gervonta Davis trainer Calvin Ford has just shocked many of Tank's fans, as he's highlighted a major problem Tank faces that could impede his Victory Comms fight night. This is definitely not the news the boxing world wants to hear, but does this mean Frank Martin could really be having a chance? As fight night draws closer, reality is dawning on Gervonta Davis's team, as his trainer Calvin Ford has highlighted a major lapse in Gervonta Davis's preparation for his fight against Frank Martin.
Too confident can get you killed. And I also know that about the game. So.
How did you know you had trouble with the law? How did you find that out?
We ain't here for that.
According to Calvin Ford, this major lapse is so severe that it could be the only flaw of Gervonta Davis on fight night.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Amazon, PBC, GTD Promotions, and the MGM. Everyone in the world has been anticipating the return of
The lightweight title fight is scheduled to take place on Saturday, June 15th at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, United States of America. As a result, the two fighters are looking to appear at their very best as they make preparations for their battle in the ring this Saturday. The bout, which will be shown on Amazon Prime Video PPV, has attracted attention from fans and other boxing professionals who support the fights. The World Boxing Association lightweight world title champion, who had not fought for over a year since he last emerged victorious against Ryan Garcia in April 2023 after being forced to spend 2 months in prison, will be back in the ring to defend his title against Frank Martin. Frank Martin, who is ranked number 2 behind Davis, which implied he gets the first shot at the belt, aiming to take his impressive career record up to 19-0, expressed how disqualified his opponent was even with the upcoming fight at hand. After he served his prison time, Davis was authorized to continue his boxing career and defend the crown he claimed after Devin Haney vacated before moving up in weight with the fight that he will be facing Martin in a few days to come.
I take my hats off to everybody that came out to this press conference. Amazon Prime, MGM Grand, even David Benavidez, you know. I wanted David Benavidez.
Davis, who previously held both the International Boxing Federation and super featherweight titles on separate occasions, attracted the conversations over the internet from different professionals who were concerned with how his training methods were efficient in the upcoming fight. The boxer posted video footage which went viral in all social media platforms, prompting interviews and discussions on different occasions. And now, to confirm this, his trainer Calvin Ford has spoken regarding his preparations. The former 3-division world champion, who claimed 5 world titles and currently ranked as No. 10 in ESPN's pound-for-pound rankings, shared the moves he implemented in the preparations for the fight, welcoming unexpected discussions. Davis enters this fight with 29 wins, 0 defeats, and 27 knockouts. It's tough to find a better resume than that. He's coming off an impressive 7th-round victory over Ryan Garcia in April 2023. Saturday will be Martin's first title shot. Despite an impressive 18-0 record with 12 knockouts, he's definitely lacking in the power department compared to Davis. A look at Martin's unanimous decision victory over Harutyunyan last summer, and you'll see the Ghost did a nice job of peppering the German boxer with body-head combinations, moving him around the ring. And talking about Gervonta Davis's preparations, Calvin Ford has hinted at a lapse that could hand Gervonta Davis his first loss should Frank Martin capitalize on it. Calvin Ford notably had a different training camp with Gervonta Davis, as Adrian Broner accompanied the Baltimore native in camp while he prepared for his fight against Blair Cobbs. Hopefully the presence of Adrian Broner doesn't create any form of bad luck for Gervonta Davis, as he was absolutely embarrassed by Blair Cobbs over the last weekend.
see?
Do you think he met Chapo?
Huh?
Do you think he met El Chapo?
I mean, I ain't worried about that, you know. What up, Chapo, man?
Talking about what the training camp looked like at that point, one of the reporters asked Calvin Ford about Adrian Broner's training camp, and he responded, "My thoughts is that he's doing what we need him to do. I'm seeing the transition. I'm seeing a glimpse of what I used to watch when I was on TV, when he was on TV and stuff," said Ford. According to the trainer, almost everyone had given up on the problem, but the fact remains that he never went anywhere. Ford said, "But he's still here, so he has a mission that has not been completed yet. So this opportunity that Don gave to him, he gets to show the world that he never left."
You want to be a part of this because it's going to go viral once we get it.
Well, where did they go, Calvin?
You can go to my Instagram page, hit my bio, and go to the link and you see my non.
Because I have a lot of car dealers that follow my page, and I want to send this out to them. So if they...
Another reporter checked whether Davis and Broner were happy to be collaborating together in the camp. Ford replied that he could see Tank paying back for all the favors and help he received from Broner. So in many ways, he stressed, their roles have changed since how they used to be earlier. The roles changed. It's like Tank the big brother, Broner the little brother, but they both even because, again, that's showing the respect of the levels before and then after, you know. So it's a good thing. However, at the grand arrival, Calvin Ford made more shocking revelations about Gervonta Davis's preparations. He claimed rustiness played a big role in affecting his fighter, considering he had been out of the ring for over a year. So much had happened in the space of 14 months, and it's as a result of this that the more active Frank Martin could gain some edge over his opponent. There was a collective groan around the MGM Grand Lobby when it was announced that Gervonta "Tank" Davis would not actually be arriving at his own grand arrival on Tuesday. The fight week opener fizzled ahead of Davis's scheduled World Boxing Association lightweight title defense against Frank Martin on Saturday, and disappointed fans were left shaking their heads with Davis trainer Calvin Ford left to carry the can and break the news. "I want to apologize to the fans," Ford said, killing the buzz that had built since the scheduled arrival started some 90 minutes earlier. "He can't make it at this moment because he's been delayed, but he's going to make it up to you all on fight night. Trust what I'm saying to you all. You all want to see this performance that he's going to put on to the fans." Davis had earlier taken to X to write, "The promotion for this fight was nonsense. Now watch I don't show up to the arrival stuff today." Fans had been asked repeatedly by roving reporter Kinsey Wilansky during the previous hour and a half who they were on hand to see, and while some had come to catch a glimpse of David Benavidez ahead of his fight with Alexander Gvozdyk, the majority had come for Davis, and Tank fever swept through the lobby.
It scares me, you know what I'm saying, because of the things that he's doing and his maturity of, how would you say, them great ones that can read the field real good. So when he get in that ring, I watch them, listen to people conversation, listen to what's going on. And
"We're back in business. We've been waiting for this for a while," Ford said of Davis's first fight back after 14 months. "We want to put on a great performance. We want to put on a great performance for the fans at the end of the day." Watching him in camp, it scares me because of the things he's doing and his maturity when he gets in that ring. I've seen him listen to a conversation, listen to what's going on, and he's really focused. Asked about the threat posed by Detroit's Martin, Ford said, "It's serious because it's a different type of fight. You can't sleep on Frank. Frank is coming to put on that party. He showed it at the press conference. He showed it throughout the whole ordeal for being a young guy that's coming on the scene at this level right here. I want people to leave, watch TV, and leave the arena saying that's one of the classiest fights we've seen since the old days." However, Calvin Ford also highlighted the fact that Gervonta Davis is doing everything to fight rustiness.
Come back with us and work. We good. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Coach, can you talk about what kind of spirits AB is in? Have you talked to him since?
He had a
that
great
happened?
spirit. If I could show y'all the intimate texts that he give me, it's like I'm being Mike right there to him.
He's been great as expected in training, however, that's still a huge factor when compared to the more active Frank Martin. Frank Martin's last match was also about 11 months ago, however. He's had less complications during his absence compared to Gervonta Davis, who's been in prison and has had an injury during his absence. Davis won a breakout fight last April when he knocked out Ryan Garcia in their Las Vegas blockbuster. However, he then spent 44 days in prison after violating the terms of a sentence that initially saw him set to avoid being sent to jail. At the start of May, Davis was sentenced over his November 2020 hit-and-run car crash, which injured 4 people, because he accepted a plea deal and pleaded guilty to 4 traffic offenses.
And it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. And AB is in a great space, y'all. You know, and he looked like the old AB. The crowd came out. That means he had love.
He avoided a custodial sentence. Tank was instead ordered to fulfill 90 days of home detention, but was sent to prison not even a month later. Gervonta Davis apparently didn't take the terms of his sentence of 90 days of home detention too seriously. The Baltimore Banner reported on its website Friday that Davis was jailed Thursday because spent time since his sentencing living at the Four Seasons Hotel in Baltimore and a luxury condo he recently purchased in the Silo Point section of Baltimore. Davis, 28, was sentenced to 90 days of home detention, 3 years of probation, and 200 hours of community service May 5th for causing a hit-and-run accident in November 2020 in Baltimore, Davis's hometown. Baltimore Circuit Judge Althea M. Handy ordered Davis to spend the ensuing 90 days at the home of his longtime trainer and father figure, Calvin Ford. Davis's attorney, Michael Tomko, never requested permission for Davis to change locations following his sentencing hearing. He was adjudged to have violated the terms of his home detention and was ordered to serve the rest of his 90-day sentence in jail as a result. It was revealed that he violated the terms by trying to serve the home detention order at the Four Seasons Hotel and a $4 million penthouse rather than trainer Calvin Ford's one-bedroom home as the judge had agreed. Once authorities learned Davis had been living elsewhere, he was ordered to appear at a hearing late Thursday afternoon. The undefeated knockout artist was taken into custody at Baltimore Central Booking immediately after the hearing, according to the Baltimore Banner. Tomko accepted blame during the hearing Thursday. "I don't think that Mr. Davis did anything wrong except listen to his lawyer," Tomko said. Tomko told Handy that Davis couldn't live with Ford because there wasn't room in Ford's one-bedroom home for Davis's security team. Tomko added that Davis moved from the Four Seasons to a $3.4 million condo he purchased recently because it was a safer location. According to Tomko, they were caught off guard when Davis was ordered to serve his home confinement in Baltimore. Davis previously lived in Parkland, Florida, but Handy didn't want him to serve his sentence there. Upon being released, Davis spoke out on social media several times to express his anger and frustration about the restrictions placed upon him, preventing him from returning to training at times. In February, though, the American took to social media to show that his ankle monitor had been removed. Therefore, he is now free to move on with his next fight and has agreed a deal to face Martin, something he's previously confirmed on social media. Martin will be making a big step up, but some will argue he could be Tank's toughest opponent to date. Also, the recent comments of Calvin Ford bring back memories of Gervonta Davis's first look when he got into the gym ahead of this fight that got many talking. Countless comments came from fans who had divided reactions after Boxing Kingdom uploaded the clip and claimed that the 29-year-old boxer was at 4 or 5% body fat ahead of his rumored fight. They wrote, "Boxing star Gervonta Davis absolutely ripped leading up to his bout against Frank Martin, estimated between 4 or 5% body fat." Fans, who also had some jibes in the store, harshly contested the claim. Notably, many bodybuilders keep the fat percentage close to 5 before tournaments and competitions, as muscles, veins, and striations pop out and are prominently visible. But this was not the case this time. So, that became a focal point when fans flooded the comment section. One fan observed that Davis was looking huge. They wrote, "Bro looking huge, WTF. Another knockout victory is waiting for you, bro. Just go in there and do your thing." One user debated how one doesn't lose body fat after cutting water. They announced, "Not true. When you cut water weight, your body barely loses fat." Similarly, someone replied, "Not even close to 4 or 5%. He'd pass out in 2 rounds fighting at that." It is funny how many don't really realize there is something wrong with him this way. A comment guessed the Baltimore native's body fat to be closer to 12%. 4 or 5% of my foot. The guy I'm seeing here has closer to 12% body fat. Meanwhile, a boxing fan mocked Davis as he declared, "Baby legs, LOL." A fan theorized that Davis was building his body for endurance and preparing for the Frank Martin fight. They said he knows he has to box against Frank, so he built his body for endurance. Don't care what anybody says. This is Tank's toughest opponent ever, and he is respecting it as such. This is going to be a great fight. However, someone in the comments threw a jibe at Boxing Kingdom and stated, "These accounts don't know fitness. They see a guy with abs and estimate he's at 4.6% body fat." Also, a fan believed they had never seen Davis in such good shape. Another comment also played down Davis's physique as they wrote, "Calling him absolutely ripped is an insane overstatement. He looks okay, LL. He doesn't even have a six-pack right now either." Rustiness must be a big thing for Gervonta Davis, even in fight week, but the 29-0 boxing champion looks set to shock the world and defy every odds when he meets Frank Martin, who also didn't have the best outing after his last fight. The Ghost survived a scare in his last fight. Frank Martin had much more trouble with Artem Harutyunyan than Michel Rivera gave him in Martin's previous fight at the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas. Harutyunyan's herky-jerky style and persistent pressure during the first 9 rounds enabled the unknown underdog from Germany to test Martin much more than the 12. One odds on their 12-round lightweight fight indicated he would. Martin ultimately took control, dominated Harutyunyan during the 10th, 11th, and 12th rounds, and narrowly won a unanimous decision. The assertive southpaw forced Harutyunyan to take a knee to protect his severely swollen left eye with 56 seconds remaining in their Showtime Championship boxing main event. That point deduction was the difference on the scorecard of Judge Steve Weisfeld, who scored Martin a 114-113 winner. Judges Max DeLuca and Tim Cheatham both scored their fight 115-112 for Martin, 18-0, 12 KOs, who would have won on their cards without the knockdown. "I just knew I wasn't as active as I normally am," Martin told Showtime's Jim Gray in the ring. "It was some shots. I saw a lot of shots that I couldn't taken, but it was just like my reaction time just wasn't on point tonight. He is definitely a tough opponent. I wouldn't say that it was too difficult. It was just that my reaction time wasn't working like it normally does for me. It was a lot of shots I saw. I couldn't tell you why. Just my timing seemed a little off."
Surprised. I knew the fight was somebody was going to stop in the fight. I just didn't know who it would have been, but I knew that somebody was going to get stopped. I did an interview prior that says it was going to be a stopper. So.
Did you think it was going to be Gervonta though?
I thought he was going to be the one stopping, but I honestly felt like it could have been either one of them. It was just who landed the big shot first.
Martin commended Harutyunyan, 12-1-7 KOs, for taking some big shots during a one-sided 6th round and then later in their fight. Indianapolis's Martin, 28, wasn't nearly as dominant as he was when he outclassed a then undefeated Rivera, 24-1-14 KOs, on December 17th at the Cosmopolitan. He dropped the Dominican Republic's Rivera in the 7th round and won by big margins on all 3 scorecards: 120, 107-118, 109-117, 110. Harutyunyan, 32, made his debut in the United States. Before fight night, Harutyunyan had fought almost exclusively in his hometown of Hamburg, Germany, where he and his family moved from Armenia when he was 1 year old. The 2016 Olympic bronze medalist faced the toughest opponent of his 5-year professional career in Martin. He responded by giving the heavily favored fighter everything Martin could handle during the first 9 rounds. "Congratulations to Frank Martin," Harutyunyan said. "He's a good fighter, but I saw every punch from him. The last round my eye hurt very badly. So that was the point where I had to take a few seconds to recover, and I think this round was the only round that decided the outcome and gave it to him." CompuBox counted 50 more connections overall for Martin, 167 of 539 to 117 of 442. Martin landed more power punches, 106 of 251 to 91 of 299, and more jabs, 61 of 288 to 26 of 143, according to CompuBox. Martin was especially effective in the final 3 rounds when CompuBox credited him for landing 39 more punches combined than Harutyunyan, 60 of 182 to 21 of 73. Martin went for the knockout during the 12th round when he pressed the action and landed numerous head and body shots as Harutyunyan did everything he could to make it to the final bell. Harutyunyan had difficulty seeing due to swelling around his left eye and took a knee with 56 seconds to go in their fight. Martin couldn't finish him, but he gained another point when Harutyunyan opted to take a knee. Martin was the aggressor again throughout the 11th round when Harutyunyan stayed mostly on his back foot and tried to avoid Martin's power shots. Martin's right hook connected with just over 30 seconds to go in the 11th round. Harutyunyan went down with 18 seconds on the clock in the 11th round, but referee Thomas Taylor ruled that it was the result of a slip. A left-right combination by Martin made Harutyunyan stumble just before the 11th round ended. Martin knocked Harutyunyan backward with a left hand that connected with just under 10 seconds to go in the 10th round. Martin's punch output kept Harutyunyan from throwing many punches during the 10th round. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.